We are going to set up Google Drive so that you have good organizational tools for you. Everything that we do in class will most likely go into your Google Drive folder. All right. I'm going to show you how to do it. For some of you who do not know how, or you haven't had an iPad before, so you have that for yourselves. So make sure you're paying attention. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at any point in time that I do go too fast for you, and you think that my speed is too much, just tell me. Be polite, be respectful. Say, Mr. D, can you slow down a little bit? Sometimes I get excited about certain things and I go a little bit fast. So, keep that in mind and let me know so that I can help you. All right. So, Google Drive, a folder. PowerPoints can go in there. Rubrics will go in there. Instructions will go in there. Any type of worksheets. Anything along the line of that. Study guides will go in there. Everything that you need will go in there. So let's do one right now. Go to New, or yours is actually on the bottom right, I believe. It's a plus sign. It's blue. Okay, so we're going to open that. And then we're going to select Folder. And I'm going to leave this up to you. You can call this AM History folder. You can call it History. You can call it 10th period history. That's fine with me. I'm just going to call mine History.
Call mine
Okay. And there my folder has been created. Now, continuing with our theme of organization, I'm not going to let you just throw things in there. Okay, we're going to organize our materials by sections or chapters. So let's go into a folder inside of a folder.
Oh, savage!
That's right. Same deal, we'll hit New. Yours is the blue plus button. We will then select Folder, and now let's call this, we're going to put a number in front of each folder.
7-3.
Nope, this is going to be 1. Number 1, this is our first folder that we're going to have, and it's called the Intro to History folder. So this way, we're organized, we're ready to go. So basically, think about these as chapters. We're making chapter folders. All right? Does anyone need any help? Remember, you can ask me for help, that's fine. Maybe your partner, your neighbor next door, that's okay as well. Okay, did you have to go use, I'm sorry, to get a drink? Okay, you go now. We're ready. Yep. Huh? Excuse me.
Hey, you came out of the Hey, why did you say that? He said wet light.
Okay, let's talk about something that I love very much. I love history. I love America. Right? I love talking about America. I love the history of America. Now there are parts that are not great. I'm going to tell you that. You guys are going to learn about some things in this country. The treatment of women, treatment of children, slaves, Native Americans, things like that as well. So there are parts of the American history that are dark. They really are. They're not good. But there are also parts to celebrate too. So you have to learn about both of them. Right? Today, we're going to talk about 2 things. History. What is it? Right? Then, well, what is history though? What is history? Stuff a long time ago. I'm glad you did not say a bunch of dead people from the past that happened a while ago. I'm glad you didn't say that. That's not one that I like to hear, right? I'm glad you did not say that. But I will say that we all have our own kind of definition of it. We all view it. But does history have to happen a long time ago? No. History can happen moments ago, if you think about it, too. All right?
History.
You guys to think about today.
No. why do you?
Oh my gosh. Jake,
Yeah.
are you serious?
Mr. D, I'll help you.
Oh, no. Hold on. So Jake, I know, thank you, I appreciate it. So Jake,
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of teaching.
Yeah.
I have my back to that area over there. By the way, my area, my domain. And I hear a crash.
Yeah.
And I hear an oops. Jake, what happened?
Knock down the Jake.
You knocked down the Jake. Did you do it on purpose? You did it on purpose. Are you serious? You did that on purpose. You decided you're going to go over there and knock over my Jenkins head on purpose. Intentionally.
That's what I like to call a savage.
Wow. You have some guts on you, mister. I'll tell you what.
Mr. D,
You know what,
can I
Jake?
help you clean
Yeah.
up?
Jake, here's what I'm going to do. Jake, instead of getting angry, instead of giving you lunch attention, instead of writing you up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a teachable moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, we can use this mess that you made
Slip on.
Bars.
to learn about how we learn about history.
What?
All right?
Oh, that's part of history.
This,
Respect your elders.
this Jake thing right here,
Yeah.
we'll call this the Jake affair.
Bang.
The Jake affair, is it history now?
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
Because it just happened.
It
and
just
it's
happened.
In our
It's just in the past, right?
8+.
Yeah.
The Jake affair. This is history.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this now, and we're going to take a look at certain things about how, I need to figure out what happened. Right, gentlemen? I need to figure out what happened, because my back was to this, right here. I just asked Jake what happened. He told me he knocked it over, right?
Yeah.
I need to get to the root to why he did it, or something along the line of that. I need to do something like that. I need to figure out what's going on. Like, I need to get to the root of this. So I'm also going to compare this to actual history.
Yeah.
All right? So let's do this. Share with us or tell me, is there anything that we could use to figure out what happened?
Pick on me.
What can we use to figure out what happened? Or what can we do to figure out what happened?
Your live stream. Oh,
Right?
just shout out loud.
Oh, the live stream. Wow. Wow. So I could, that was good. I was great. So I could go back and I could look at that. By the way, does anybody have any video right now that I could look at by any chance?
Right here.
I know what you guys are doing outside.
Wait a minute.
Gang, gang, boot gang, hold on.
You have video of what happened? All right, hold on a minute. Let's take a look.
Did you actually record him and knock it over?
Okay.
Gang, gang.
So let's look. Ready? And action. Let's take a look.
Well, you might skip forward 20
Mr.
seconds.
D, Mr. D, you're not allowed to record people without their permission.
Yeah.
Roasted. Look at their faces.
Got exposed.
You're letting
Yeah,
them
we're not
look
the
at
faces.
Okay. Oh wow, here we go. All
You
right.
couldn't really see what happened.
I put it through my
Okay,
leg.
so here he is.
It goes up.
Oh, that's me.
Bars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was wondering why would you record it? Because I got random signs.
So wait a minute. We have video of the event of what happened, right?
Stare on me.
What's good about this video? What's good about video?
Use evidence. It's
Let's do this. Let's
The
use the
iPad's
parts.
a rat.
Let's use the parts.
No, Mr.
Four.
He's not allowed to record me. Video.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's refocus. Let's refocus here and let's rely on the cards to get our answers out here, okay? So, no, we'll leave them there. So here's the deal. What is good about that recording? What's good about it?
Well,
No.
I was in it. and
Jackson.
it was hot.
Jackson, what's good about this?
I just.
What's that? Oh, you went? Okay, I'll go with somebody else. Charles, what's good about this? What's good about that recording?
You have evidence?
I have evidence. I have some video that shows what happened, right? Some. Did anybody see what was wrong with that, though? I don't know if it was sabotage, but
I know what was wrong with
It
it.
wasn't the best angle.
the angle.
Yeah, my giant.
I was actually, you were in the way, I was in the way. And then when I was standing here, I believe, and then all we did was saw Jake walk by, right?
I'm playing through my leg like a basketball though. That's all.
Okay. So, Silas,
Wet like water.
Silas. Silas, what are we going to do now? Is there anything else that you can think of besides video that we might be able to use in this classroom to figure out what happened? Witnesses! Whoa, witnesses! Hold on. Are there any witnesses that we could use?
Jake's friend.
Dylan!
Jake's friend.
He's gonna pick me.
Dylan, what do you have?
Okay, I wrote down some stuff.
Dylan wrote something down.
Yeah, I said Jake knocked over the Jenga tower.
Jake knocked over the Jenga tower.
Oh my God.
Okay, now, see, here's the problem though. Actually, you tell me, what's the problem with this?
There's no proof. He's a rat.
Don't call out, don't
There's
call
no
out.
proof yet.
What's the problem with this?
Oh, that was totally.
Devin, no,
Hey.
that was Silas again.
That's
Devin,
totally me.
Devin, what's wrong with this? Where's Devin?
What's up? Hey.
Devin, what's wrong with this? Sorry.
Because of the camera angle, you
No,
can't
that.
really see what actually happened, so.
No, what's wrong with
We're
this?
talking about my paper.
Paper, eyewitness, written text of what happened. What's wrong with this?
Bad handwriting.
It doesn't give a descriptive.
It's not very descriptive. It says knocked over. Was it intentional?
No.
I don't know.
Go in.
I don't know.
No, I don't
Right?
Pencil.
It could have
So-
been the wind.
Let's now switch gears a little bit. Let's go to another eyewitness. Okay.
This kid.
These are a lot of these things right here that we just did. We did the video. That's modern. Is there any other modern stuff that we can use to document people?
I see you pick Caleb.
Is there any other modern stuff? Caleb?
What?
No?
No, other Caleb.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Other Caleb. Where's the other Caleb?
He had his hand up.
Oh,
No. Who's my other person? Do you have anything?
Yeah.
What do you have?
No.
What's that?
I saw it was on purpose.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Wait, you were here.
Yes.
And you saw the thing go down.
And he smacked.
And he intentionally.
Actually, I put it through my legs. I didn't smack.
Wait.
No one asked you.
Whoa. So you're telling me that you intentionally. You did that. Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone disagree with that, by the way? Do you disagree with that? What do you say?
Yeah. I don't look like he did, but
He
Thank
tripped.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Uh-oh.
Let's go.
He just
I'm coming over the I'm
right here.
All right. So
I want Eagle Eye like
if we have, ladies and gentlemen, if we have two people that are there, what could be a problem with these two witnesses?
We don't know who's
What
right.
could be? Don't go.
I'm right.
What could be a problem with these two witnesses? Ava, what could be a problem?
There's two different sides.
Ava H. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
There's two different sides of the story, so you don't know which one's right.
Who's telling the truth?
I am.
Right? I don't
I
know.
saw it.
Clearly.
Who's
And
telling
he
the
already
truth?
said it. He said it himself.
Right?
Like, just
This is not important here.
Is there anything else? Was anybody else involved they could show us or anything like that? No. nothing?
My live stream.
Oh, wait.
Okay, we got the live stream. We have the
Photos.
video. Where's the photos? Do we have any photos? No, we don't.
We have a video.
Body
Who's
red.
the photos? Anybody?
Body red.
Did you
I
take
saw
photos?
Caleb taking selfies.
Oh.
Caleb was
Okay.
taking selfies
So-
the wrong way.
Once again, we have photos.
Oh, man. They can't see me.
But there's a problem. What's wrong with the photos?
They're trash.
Oh, they are bad. Yes, you are correct. What's wrong with them though?
You're in the way.
I got one problem.
Who's that big O standing right there? That's me. I'm standing in the
I
way.
know problem. I know
All right.
problem. We tried to raid on me, but I still escaped it. Because I'm nice like that.
You
Okay. All right, ready? Okay, so here's what I want you guys to think about, right? We do have a lot of great modern inventions that we can use, like the video camera. We could also use the pictures, right? But what happens if you are in the 1700s? Are there pictures available in the 1700s like that?
No.
Nice.
Is there video available in the 1700s?
Possibly.
No, not even close. Not 1700s? No, not even close. So what do you rely on if you don't have video
People.
and you don't have pictures and you don't have any things like that as well? What do you rely on? Sarah, Elle, what do you rely on? People, their experiences, what they see, what they've written down, and what they orally say as well, what they bring to the table, but there's problems with that too, okay? All right, so, little activity to get you thinking about history, all right? Now I just want to switch gears to the last portion of this, and I want you to figure out two definitions that we're going to use throughout the rest of the year, all right? So can I get you all to go to Schoology right now, please? So new house. So new house. We need to put those down right now. Thank you. And leave them.
Yep.
Thank you. Schoology. What's the setup? No, what's the setup? It's not set up.
Jake is guilty.
Schoology Academy of Course. That's
Order
right
in
there.
the course.
Him in there?
Okay. Hey, you know, as soon as something happens, you guys are the first ones to pull out your phones and say, all right, I'm going to document this right here, right? You always do. When something happens, like this is a fight. You see it all the time. Well, you always think it's soon that All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. What I like to do now is I like you to take a look at Schoology. I do want to draw your attention to very quickly about a couple or a few areas. If you look on the right-hand side, once again, I mentioned this the first day. I put all of the information for each lesson on Schoology, day by day, right? There it is, Thursday 29. You guys, if you just swipe over to the left, you'll see yours will pop up like that, right? That's one area. Another area to focus on is I have the history headquarters right here. It has the the PDF version, electronic version of the textbook, each chapter. I have some general information, my introduction letters in there for your parents too, that's there, it'll always be there. All right, now the other thing I want you to pay attention to is this down here, the folder. I'd like you to open up that folder, Introduction to History. And I would like you to open the Introduction to History PowerPoint. You can follow along with me as I discuss this. I'm not going to take too much time on it. It's a very short PowerPoint, but it's also an introduction to the history content topic itself and what I want you to really understand. 2 phrases, 2 terms to understand for today and for the rest of the year. All right? Remember, once again, at any point in time, if I go too fast and you don't understand something, I will gladly clarify or help out, and we'll go from there. Just raise your hand respectfully, and then we can go and talk about whatever you want to. Or if you have a comment, it's appropriate as well. History. So that's our topic, right? We're in history class. Now we're going to start switching gears towards history. What is it? Let's see. Jack.
It's the study and record of past events.
Okay, study and record of past events. Okay? Can we all agree on that one? Do we think that's a solid definition? That's okay, right? With past events. Remember, what Jake did, was that a past event?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. It was. That was something that happened in the past. That's history. All right? Let's go further, though. Let's go a little bit deeper. What else do you have up there?
This leads to a collection of knowledge that accurately records and explains past events, which can be used to guide the future.
All right, so did we have a collection of knowledge with this activity?
Yes.
We did, didn't we? What were some of the things that we had? We had a video. What else do we have? Photos. What else do we have? Witnesses. What else? Video. Once again, okay? Dylan. Yeah, we also have written record, right? I want you to think about history as being something along the line of you being a detective. Because a detective, you guys ever watch Discovery? Not Discovery, ID on Discovery?
Yeah.
Do you ever watch CSI?
Yeah.
They go through a process, don't they? They have to figure out what happens, don't they? It's not just there for them. If they walk into a room and they see a door that's kicked in, they see a bloody knife on the floor, they see a pool of blood right there, and unfortunately a deceased person right there, Is there a sign or a press play button that says, press this to see what happened? Is there something there that says that?
No.
No. They have to piece everything together. Just like you guys, if I describe that scene, what do you think happened?
Somebody.
It was completely intentional.
What do you think happened? If I describe that scene right there to you, Hannah Biddle, what do you think happened?
Someone broke into someone's house to steal.
They broke into steal, and then what happened?
Someone got in the way and they killed
Someone got in the way. Does anyone have a different idea than Hannah? Anyone have a different idea? What do you have?
Well, they went in and
Sorry.
they just.
Ryan, sorry, I'm sorry. Should have pointed the numbers.
Somebody put a bounty on them and they just wanted to kill them.
See? We have two different ideas from the same scene. So we have to figure out what happened. And with history, it's the same way. You're like a detective trying to figure out. And you try your best by putting everything together, the pieces. All right? I want you guys to tell me this. We're going to study slavery this year, towards the end, right? Unfortunate, very unfortunate thing that happened in our American history. We're going to study that, we're going to learn from it, right? Can you look at these two right here, these primary sources? Can you look at these two? And without being taught what slavery is, can you tell me what happened? Slavery, what happened? Can you tell me what happened? Just by looking at that, those two right there, without someone telling you, without reading a textbook, can you tell me what happened? Just give me an idea. Dylan, just give me one thing. What happened? Slavery, what happened?
people bought other people to make them work for them.
Okay. Where are you getting that idea of they bought other people to work for them? Where do you see that?
Oh wait, never mind.
No, I'm asking. You're correct. I think you're fine. You're okay to say that. That is your perspective on what you see right there. What gives you? Can you give me what in this gives you that information? What makes you think that people were bought? Anything? What do you think?
Well, it says that they have to do something or else they'll be punished.
Okay, so they have to do something. Of a slave, Solomon Northup, who wrote a book, and who was there. He experienced slavery. He was part of slavery. He was an eyewitness. He wrote a book, and he said, I was forced to do this work. That can lead you to believe that they were purchased and they were forced to do that. Very good. Anybody else? Can anybody else give me another thing? What else?
I was gonna say I can answer to Dylan.
Okay, go ahead. Continue. That's great.
That there's one dude watching them. The dude on the horse is watching them while they do it.
There's a guy on a horse, right? And who are these people?
The slaves.
They're slaves, right? So this person's watching them do it. You're looking at this and saying, that has to be someone who maybe owns that person, right? Anybody else have anything? How about that other underlined portion right there? Punished. Anybody know how slaves were punished? What do you think?
They were whipped.
They were whipped. Okay. How do we know? That's what the thing. How do we know slaves were whipped? How do you know slaves were whipped? How do you know that was a punishment? Go ahead, continue.
The overseer has a whip.
Okay, there's a whip there, right there as well. Very good. What else?
I've read a lot of books about people whipping other people for punishments. And
Sure.
it's written down evidence.
Does this photo right there, does that actually show, yes, in fact, slaves were punished?
No, we don't know.
And they were punished by the whip? Could you put those two together?
Yes.
Yes.
Could you put Solomon's words together that says, if I didn't pick the amount that I was supposed to, I would be punished. And one of those punishments would have been whippings. Does that back it up right there?
Yeah.
Does that tell you that yes, that did, unfortunate thing, that did happen?
Is that an actual photo?
Yes, it is. It is an actual photo. What do you think that is on his back? It's scar tissue, right? This picture is worth 1,000 words, as people say. Because you can look at this picture and you can see the horrors of slavery right there, just like that. And it's not saying anything. This man is not saying a word. This is, right there. He's showing you his back. He did that on purpose to show this is what slavery was. That's slavery right there, right? And that's a primary source. That is something that tells us about the past without us even being there. Can you look at that and say slavery was a terrible thing?
Yeah.
Were you there?
No.
No. Do you have to be there? No, you have to. You don't have to because that tells us. Okay, so good job with that. Here are the two phrases that I would like you to know for the rest of the year. Phrase number one is called a primary source. Very, very important. I can't read that. I think this is Caleb. Caleb, what is a primary source?
A original record produced by the people who participated and were witnessed in that.
All right, who participated and witnessed the past. With Jake's event, who were the primary sources? With Jake's event, who were the primary sources? Hannah,
The witnesses,
who were the witnesses?
Dean and
Keep going. Who else?
Dean, Caleb, and Dylan.
Keep going.
Devin.
Keep going.
Everybody?
Everybody, you're all a primary source. You were here. You witnessed the event, right? That's a primary source. You are a primary source. Whether it was written down, whether it was recorded, whether there were pictures taken, whether there were eyeballs on it. You were a primary source and you saw the event. That's how we get the information, all right? Here are some examples of a primary source that we're going to take a look at this year. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm not going to be that teacher that tells you to go into a textbook and read about an event and then say, write it down. I'm going to be that teacher that says, here you are, here is so-and-so's version of the event. Tell me what happened. Analyze this person's event. Or, listen to this song. Tell me what happened. Look at this painting. Tell me what happened. Take a look at these objects. By the way, tomorrow, we're going to do an activity, most of the class tomorrow. It's called Getting to Know Mr. D. Am I going to stand here and tell you all about myself? What do you think? No, I'm not. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you artifacts of myself, my history, and I'm going to put you in groups, and I'm going to say to you, together, take a look at these artifacts. Tell me about myself. Because I don't think that's fun. I think it's more fun when you guys get to look at it, and at the end of class I say to you, all right, tell me about myself. It's good in two ways. One, you get to know me a little bit, some of my personal objects. Two, you get to know a little bit about history and how to think. All right? And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, the second definition or term that you need to know, and this is the one that I believe all of you have the most experience with. It's called a secondary source. Nevaeh, what's a secondary source?
Information that was created by referencing using the primary sources.
Okay, using the primary sources. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what the most common primary or secondary source is?
Internet. Books.
Textbook.
The primary source.
Textbook. Textbook is a whole bunch of information crammed into one location. Okay? We are going to use it every now and then, but not much. All right. So, did I lose anyone?
No.
Are we okay? Yes.
Just about, where's the, videotaping? Is that a source?
It is a source, a primary source. But you're not going to see that in the 1700s. You're not going to see, if we were to say to you what happened at the Boston Tea Party, you're not going to see video of that. You're only going to see, text, letter, right? You're only going to see photographs maybe, something like that, or paintings, pictures of it. Okay? All right, guys, good job today. Thank you very much. Can I have the nameplates? And can I also have those 6 cards that I handed out to the people that were involved? Which was not fake at all, I promise you.
I promise you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you.
What do you think?
Bye.
You're not allowed to just go up and hit the table. You'd be like,
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you.
he's still playing.
Bye. Have a great day. Thank you. Bless you. Have a great day. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Mr. D.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Ready? D, watch the
Thank you.
skills. Ready? Mr. D, ready?
Okay, so I sent an email, and the email is the same thing as this. There's a link All she has to do is click on that, and she can get the information for that. If you know how to do it, tell her to email me. I'll send her a link. Okay? Thank you. Yep.
Look, I was putting the agenda. Alright.
You guys still?
I know.